Hello, every person out there that is watching this or listening to this, whichever. I am the Fat One Subrick. Welcome to the Dark Match for the 2011 Survivor Series.
Get on with it! Jesus Christ. No, you're done. I'm Teefus. I'm in the danger zone. Next.
I am the RXW intern, make a fighter free.
And as always, I am your foxy friend Backlash, and it is once again time for What is Iron Sheik Tweeting? My intelligent Joe agent, bench mentioned, teach me not to be the greedy. You respect the business or you'll get fucked like the Tiger Woods. Again with the Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the fact that he says intelligent Jew agent.
That's how he always calls it, addresses his agent. He's an intelligent Jew, apparently.
We have to distinguish him from the not intelligent Jews.
There's a compliment in there somewhere if you dig around for it.
Well, you know what? It's not defamatory. It's not prejudice or anything because it does not specify that all Jews are unintelligent or that this one's the exception by being intelligent. He just happens to be Jewish and intelligent.
Anyways, we're here to talk about Survivor Series 2011, and
By talk, we mean argue.
oh yeah.
All right. Well,
We start off Madison Square Garden. They changed the inside of the building. I am sad for that. We start off with John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler for the United States title. And Morrison gets a decent reaction, which he's going to be missing when he goes to Florida.
Decent reaction.
That's
your
Your opinion of a decent reaction is that everyone was chanting for Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Yes.
He got booed and Ziggler got cheered. Excuse me for jumping.
Yeah, that's Chris. He was supposed to be on the show, but we started before he showed up.
You impatient bastards.
Get off my show, No Leaf.
So yeah, this crowd, they didn't want any of this. They just wanted Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of ironic because weren't we like a month ago really begging for this match, and now nobody gives a shit about it anymore?
I think it was more like 2 months ago.
I think it's because they didn't really have any real build-up to Morrison versus Ziggler.
And
Well,
I think we're pretty much
He thought he could shit himself.
we're
I
pretty
was-
much the same
He really-
mindset. Morrison's
He
just
really does shit himself.
it's pretty obvious that Morrison's just getting released probably within the next month.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's getting released. I think they're gonna hang on to him because he keeps threatening to go to fucking TNA. That's what the talk is.
I
And
just
why
read
should
earlier.
WWE care about TNA at this point?
What I read earlier was that his current contract has expired, but he signed an extension through the end of the month.
I don't know how accurate that is. I heard his actual contract itself doesn't expire until the 27th. So,
Well, can't really trust.
Dirt sheets! They're
Yes.
viable!
I'm looking at you, Alvarez.
So yeah, this match actually, when you look past the fact that this crowd wanted nothing but Zack Ryder, which I have no problem with, obviously, it was a good match. I mean,
It was a good match.
Morrison
Yeah.
and Ziggler always put on good stuff, even when they're not with each other.
It's just sad that they decided to do this instead of Ziggler versus Ryder. But
If there is one thing I
you know what though they did address this on the WWE website. They put up a kayfabe statement by Laurinaitis explaining why he put Morrison in the match instead of Ryder. It's basically the heel boss taking a shot at the face that everyone wants that the heel boss does not like.
if there's one thing I have to compliment about this match, it's Vicky Guerrero.
Oh,
yeah, Vicky Guerrero is fun in this one.
First off, not only did she have her personality turned up to 11, because you could hear her over pretty much the announcers who were mic'd.
Honestly,
Yeah.
from my perspective, she was kind of a non-entity. I did hear her like trying to hush away like any chants that were going around, but nonetheless,
I don't know what pay-per-view you were listening to.
She was all over the damn place. She
My
was
ears were
screaming.
bleeding.
She was loud, and my ears hurt when she got thrown out of the match, and it was just no for like 5 minutes.
Oh my god, it was great.
Yeah, wish the mics had been turned up a little bit more, but nonetheless.
No, it was great the way it was because it showed how loud she could be. She was drowning out the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's
it's
running out Michael Cole, so hey, positive there.
Again, didn't hear anything, just saw a lot of body language from where I was sitting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Christopher says was there live.
yeah, he was actually in the building.
I was supposed to be, but sadly I couldn't be.
Yeah, well, boo-hoo for you.
But yeah, like I definitely agree about.
You
No, you know what?
asshole.
No, because you said it before the show even started. You said something that pissed me right off.
Yeah, I know. We'll get
Gentlemen,
to that
corners,
later.
corners.
We'll get to that.
I'm
But yeah.
coming for you, son.
Corners.
But
I definitely agree with you that the writing's on the wall with Morrison because he basically knee smashed Ziggler, like which at one point last year was his finish, and then set him up for the Starship Pain, which he didn't even really get to hit and get a 2 count for. Ziggler just kneed up and got him out of that.
so yeah, Ziggler wins with the zigzag, and Vicky comes out, and Dolph cuts a pretty good promo, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Then woo
Woo, you know it.
And this crowd went insane.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, this is really the only match of the night that I even marked out for remotely.
The only thing I really noticed, Ryder dyed his hair.
He did.
Yeah, I noticed that it was. Was it more blonde?
It was a
more
lot more blonde. Like he had frosted tips before, but this was full blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crowd pretty much erupted.
Yeah, and this I would actually say that that Zach got it probably in the top 3 crowd pops the whole night.
Yeah.
Like possibly even louder than when Punk won later in the night.
Oh, radio.
Spoilers.
Oh man.
Spoilers, yes.
No.
So
But-
yeah, this match was pretty good. It is Dolph Ziggler, obviously, and he never puts on a bad match. Other than with Mason Ryan.
Well, really, with Mason Ryan, what are you gonna do?
Eh,
But we'll get to that a little later, because now we've got to move on to the Divas match. A Lumberjill match. Eve Torres versus Beth Phoenix. And
the Lumberjills were a complete non-factor in this.
pretty
You know
much.
what? You know
they-
what though? You know what though? WWE's tactic of trying to just make them all eye candy and not really give a shit about their wrestling, it's working because all I could think about was, damn, the Bellas look good in them outfits.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
didn't
like
really
the
notice
Bellas.
it, but
The
if
only-
the
If I
Lumberjill
gave a crap about the
Yeah.
Bellas, I would agree.
The
but,
only thing
yeah.
really worth talking about in this match is the finish.
Yes.
A top
yeah.
rope glam slam.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
Can you
Eve
say
actually
whiplash? Can
and
you
Eve-
say broken nose?
and Eve actually
Eve
took it
sold this
entirely
like a
on
fucking
the
pro. Eve sold this like a pro. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you
if you
definitely
want to
have
get
one.
over, if you want to show that you're worth investing in, that's the way to do it. The problem is she needs to be consistent with her ring work, and by consistent, I don't mean consistently bad.
Yeah. That weird standing submission thing she did earlier.
I
It
think-
looked good.
Mm-hmm.
I compared that spot to like when Trish Stratus got powerbombed for the table by the Dudleys. I said this would be like the first step for Eve to become a legit wrestler, but I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see how things go.
Well, if they're gonna have women wrestlers, they need to let them wrestle, and that was wrestling.
To be perfectly honest, like I was on my toes, like really biting my nails when Eve was probably gonna get like a roll up finish and win the belt, but that's probably the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I have a quick question. Like, Chris, just was the reaction to that bump like as stark in the arena as it was for everyone watching at home?
Ladies and gentlemen, your first 6-man dark match episode.
When you say Stark, do you mean like?
I mean, as like wow, holy shit, that took some balls.
Yeah, everyone was like fairly. They were like, "Oh Jesus!" Like it took them by surprise. Like they never expected it to finish like that. But
It was a good goddamn moment.
Eve is certainly better than Kelly. I'll give her that.
oh yeah, if the Lumberjills were used in one way, it was just to get over that Kelly's more intense nowadays. I guess.
If by intense you mean I'm
Yeah,
mad
yeah.
now.
No, not even that.
She-
If by intense you mean she looks like Michelle McCool.
Yes.
She literally has two personalities. One like, oh, hi, I'm Kelly, nice to see you. While the other is, I'm gonna slam your head a lot. Ah! That's all she does.
The only way that this would be good. The only way this.
All I want to know is why she passed up having her name on the credits for the Trogdor song. Referenced.
It's an old shame.
But yeah, honestly, that was like at that moment. That's when the whole show just kind of seemed to stop for me. Like after that, it's not the fault of the Divas at all. The Divas did fine. Okay, let's get out there and showcase all the Divas just standing around not doing anything, but at least they were there. But yeah, if Eve is going to be anything significant, she needs to work on her in-ring work more than anything else and just be a serious competitor. That's going to be her best selling point.
If the WWE wants to prioritize the Divas, then sure, but I don't think that's really on their plate.
I don't think it is either. And unfortunately, this would be a great storyline to have had with Karma.
Yeah. Man, Triple H's signings this year are just not doing all that well.
Oh yeah, we'll get to another one in a little bit.
Yes. And then after this match, after Beth wins. By the way, Beth wins. I don't think we mentioned that.
I think top rope top rope.
You're not kicking out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got CM Punk backstage. We have Clarence Mason 2011 David Otunga, only less charismatic. He wants Punk to apologize to Michael Cole, and that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice try, Carlton Banks.
Yeah,
that was like the first season Carlton Banks, back when you really just did not even give a shit about this character. You wanted to go away.
Yep. And for those who don't know, David Otunga stars in the WWE's ad for their next pay-per-view, TLC. Very boring shit where he kind of goes, "This is a table. It's commonly used for setting food down upon it." The best part of that video was that whoever uploaded it had an annotation on it that said, "Help me get to 100 views."
Nice.
Ow. Okay.
I haven't seen it yet. I didn't even know that thing existed.
Well, I don't think they're going to top the stick figure promo from last year, so I guess they shouldn't even bother trying.
No.
What about that shitty typography one that they did for Night of Champions? I've seen better ones on YouTube for movie quotes. But yeah, after Punk thoroughly owns David Otunga again, we get Rocky.
And we get Rocky for a long time.
This is a 15-minute promo that could have been 5 minutes, and it would have been so much better.
It did not feel like 15 minutes to me. It didn't.
Fuck you.
I'm serious. It
felt like a half hour to me.
He just would not stop. And then he started singing.
Here's what I did.
God, stop.
At about the 5-minute mark, I figured he's probably wrapping up, so I went and made a sandwich. I come back 5 minutes later, he was still talking.
He should have finished it with "Finally, the Rock has come back to New York City," and I know that's usually his opening line, but by that point, I had enough. That was all I needed in a promo from him.
And then came
the pay-per-view, especially one of the big 4 pay-per-views, is not the place to do a half-hour, 15-minute, whatever promo.
The thing about it is that Rock used to do that shit all the time. Though, granted, not on this level. It'd be like 5 minutes, and he'd hit all his catchphrases and get out. But
yeah.
he did have his moment of like 10-minute promos before the match.
But not on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, on a pay.
No.
Didn't he do this at a WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'm talking about some of his WrestleMania promos.
Okay.
Where he talked for like 10 minutes. Like think back to like the Hulk Hogan promo, the one where he was going to wrestle Hulk Hogan. I mean, at WrestleMania 18. Yeah, that one's like 10-15 minutes.
Someone's phone's going. Anyway, well, I Still, that doesn't excuse it. That just makes it a habit. Don't fucking waste our time. We paid to see this. This isn't exactly something where you're giving away on TV where it's just whatever you want to throw out there.
Yeah, this
is
definitely.
This is where people came to see the action, not the talking.
This pay-per-view would have definitely benefited from either another elimination match or just another match altogether, and definitely not the dark match they had Santino
giving
versus
Zack
Jinder.
Ryder a match.
And this
Well,
is going to be
how many
only
people did they have that they give TV time regularly to that they didn't have on this show? And they had Dolph Ziggler in 2 matches. Not that I'm complaining about Dolph Ziggler. He's fine. But better use of more people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this isn't going to be the only instance of padding, but that's going to come later in the night. I suppose.
No, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, this is the beginning.
Talking about where this pay-per-view just started unraveling for me and just.
But
like,
I suppose we should move into the elimination match. It's Team Orton versus Team Barrett, and
Yeah, this
match
bad
was,
stuff happens.
because here's what. Well, first off, let's pretty much say that Dolph Ziggler got eliminated pretty much immediately. I imagine
Fair
because
enough.
he was probably kind of not feeling it after already going through a match.
But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
to preface the next 2 matches though, I'll say that like I was saving all my serious energy for CM Punk versus Del Rio because I wanted to. That was the match that I came to the pay-per-view to see. But like these two, the preceding 2 matches, the elimination match and the World Heavyweight Title match, were fun because the New York crowd was not taking any shit.
no, they weren't.
But
It was great.
But here, let me actually point out something I said in the chat while we were watching this. Because Sin Cara comes to the ring in his Mystico colors. And the last time we saw him in that was Money in the Bank, where he was suspended and immediately got thrown out of the match on a kayfabe injury when Sheamus powerbombed him through a ladder. And I said, last time we saw these Mystico colors, he got suspended. And I think it was No Leaf who said, well, I guess we know what's going to happen then.
Oh,
And
you could not have been more right.
It got
I really don't. I don't remember saying that.
Well, I don't know. It was someone. It might have been someone else. But
So the scenario is Kofi and Sin Cara, they threw, I don't remember who out, but they go for the jump for the planches over the top rope, and the reports that I read said that Sin Cara might have misstepped because he runs and then he stops a little bit, he hops, and then he just sort of flails over the top rope, and he apparently ruptured his patella tendon, and he's going to be out for 9 months
at the most.
at the
it,
most.
it looks like they did that plancha onto Swagger and Hunico.
yeah.
Oh, God.
But by the way, before we continue with Sin Cara, did they just like turn the personality button on Hunico off?
But what are you talking about? I thought he was doing just. I mean, granted, it could have been the guy sitting right behind me who was very ironically, but nonetheless very funnily marking the fuck out anytime Hunico would get tagged in, and anytime Hunico did anything, it was, oh my God.
It's just that Hunico, he looks like LAX's table scraps.
No, you know what? It's so overdone anymore, but they're going to keep doing it.
He's so
Latino
good.
thug characters, for some reason in their mind, sells. And it just doesn't.
He's making the best of what he's got, in my opinion. He's like, his facial expressions are great. He's like really aggressive in terms of his strikes.
And
I've been enjoying like everything.
Well, I'm just saying this.
Most unmatched.
Look at the general population of Latino male wrestlers in mainstream companies.
No, you are right. Like I'm starting to see where the comparisons come from.
And look at the most over one of them all. The one that is actually a wealthy aristocrat for his character, as opposed to a thug. Think about that.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's been on TV consistently without injury.
well,
Come on.
also, does anyone else notice that Honico's theme sounds suspiciously like the Nation of Domination?
Yep.
Really?
Well, he is,
Yeah,
he is
fair.
rolling with Primo and Epico, so maybe they're doing a Nation.
Also, Chris, as not there as it sounded on TV.
Oh no, it wasn't there. No one really gives a damn about him.
Except for the guy sitting behind you.
Yeah.
And he was.
I think I heard him. He's like, "Oh my God, Hunico!"
Now, I'm surprised I'm surprised that Hunico stayed in as long as he did, because on Camel Clutch blog, my friend Justin Henry, he had an ongoing blog on there, and every single time somebody would get eliminated, it would be people eliminated before Hunico, and I think he got up to like 6.
Oh no!
Hunico
Like
got
he was
eliminated.
barking out for the fact that Hunico kept on lasting. Like, and I was.
Hunico, have my gringo baby.
Anyways, here's where the match started to fall apart for me, because first off, as soon as it becomes apparent that Sin Cara is actually and probably seriously hurt, the entire match, they just stopped selling for a moment. They're like, "Do we keep fighting?"
Oh yeah, they were scrambling.
You just get this feeling that he had an integral role in the rest of the match.
They were scrambling to think of spots, but like in terms of heels that the crowd was really going nuts for, Ziggler and Cody got some huge fucking.
Oh my
When
God.
Cody eliminated
Huge
Mason, actually, before we get onto that, just one last thing on Sin Cara. We learned how sympathetic and caring the New York crowd was when Sin Cara, laid out on the ground with a very serious knee injury, begins to chant, "We want Ryder."
That's pretty much all I want. But yeah, like
I was hoping they would chant that during the fucking main event.
Yeah.
To be honest.
They did it during the promo after the match, though. They didn't do it during the match.
But yeah, damn. But speaking of Cody Rhodes, though, he had my favorite spot in the match where at some point it ends up that Hunico is in the ring with Mason Ryan, and obviously this leads to Mason Ryan starts smiling. He gets to like have his fun. He puts him in the master lock, and then Cody sees this, runs over to the ropes, and beautiful disasters the fuck out of Mason Ryan's head.
Yeah.
Apparently he's the legal man. Crossroads him and eliminates him.
Yeah, that was a nice spot.
And the crowd goes insane because no one in New York likes Mason Ryan.
No one in general likes Mason Ryan.
Hey, you gotta understand, it's New England and these guys are British.
You know what?
It's a colony thing.
I don't know. I've said I don't like Mason Ryan, but I kind of feel like I want to give him a chance to impress me, because he's still new to the WWE.
He's been in the WWE.
It does feel like he gets too much slack for looking too much like Batista. It's almost like it's not fair to him to hold that against him. That's
not fair. But
I think part of what it is. Apparently, I'm just going to be on the show today. I think part of what it is just that we keep trying to convince ourselves that Vince is moving out of that mindset of where he doesn't want to, have all the big men in the main event. And here we have a perfect example of a guy being put on TV and pushed primarily because he's a big guy. And that's not necessarily fair to him, because he could still be talented. He's still relatively green, but he could be good down the line. But it's just fatigue on that. Oh, great! Here we go again. They tried it with Zeke.
They're trying it again with Zeke too.
I'll go ahead and say this though. Just the fact that these guys are big and they're being put on TV is not a problem, because you got like you say, you have to have a variety. Having all big guys is a problem. Having no big guys is a problem too.
Yeah. The problem is,
hi TNA.
Mason doesn't really have a character, so to speak. He's a generic big guy. He's Welsh, but he's a generic big guy.
Well, I'd say let's ask in 3 months where he is, and let's make our decisions based on that.
No, I think part of the slack that Mason gets also is that when he came back from his injury a month or so ago, he was even bigger than when he started in Nexus.
It's true.
Well, that's because when a lot of people do go on injury, they do get a prescription for steroids to help them heal.
Yeah.
When Edge came back from his neck injury, he was beefed up, and that's because he was on steroids by prescription. He had doctor's orders to take it to help his neck heal. And then they wean him off. And then what they do is they wean you off of it, and then you're clean, and you diminish in size a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. But speaking of a month ago, hey, No Leaf, how's that John Cena travel package working for your vacation? Because you're all supposed to at work.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh. But the story of this match is that, aside from Ziggler, no one from Team Barrett gets eliminated pretty much for until the end of the match. And everyone on Orton's team gets eliminated because Sin Cara gets injured. Mason Ryan gets taken up by Cody. Kofi, I forget what happened to Kofi.
I think he got pinned by Unico.
Yeah, he probably got pinned by Hunico. And then Sheamus gets himself DQ'd.
He got a pretty snapped waistline.
Oh, it says right here actually Kofi got eliminated by Barrett.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think Hunico eliminated anyone in the match.
Wasteland.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Dominoes.
And then after Sheamus gets DQ'd, Orton just jumps into the ring and just goes into wreck shit mode. And this is where I started to get annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I've admitted that I don't hate Orton. But at this stage in his career, he should be using his momentum to get other people over.
Mm.
And this was just felt entirely counterproductive.
Thankfully, they didn't go.
No, it feels like at the end of this match, nobody got over except Barrett, who I don't give a shit about. And I admit I'm biased, but that's me.
Or no, wait, or maybe Rhodes.
Honestly,
Rhodes is the only guy left.
The finish did make the Barrett in particular and the heels themselves look quite smart. Because he basically, the situation is Orton is gonna like basically do the draping DDT to Cody. Barrett distracts him. Hunico springboards and takes an RKO for the pin, and post elimination Barrett just like goes right in and snap wastelands him. Like it seemed like it was something that Barrett very much took advantage of and kind of just grabbed the victory.
Yeah,
it was a pretty good service for them. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just the booking of this match really annoyed me.
Yeah, the circumstances also fucked it over.
I thought it was kind of a funny troll move that you get down to where it's just 2 guys against 4, and it's Orton. So you think when what's his name got eliminated too, Sheamus got himself disqualified there. It was just Orton against the world, and he started eliminating people. You're like, everyone's like, oh god, no, they're gonna do this with Orton, and at the last minute.
I was very worried that they were going to go
minute,
full god mode with Orton.
They didn't even get down to 1-on-1 with him, and they eliminated Orton, and just like, yeah, fuck you guys. You thought we were going to like put Orton over like that. Fuck you. So that was great to me.
It was a good match as a whole. I mean, other than Sin Cara hurting himself.
Oh yeah, don't ever want to see that happen.
Yeah, especially as badly as he did.
Stop wearing the Mystico colors, dude. Not helping
It's that white suit. It's bad luck.
Which is weird because the entire reason he's even in the WWE is because he wore those colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look where they're getting him now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was that match. It was good, like I said. We go backstage. Del Rio is with the Bellas. They are hot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're still doing this.
And then
we have, my name is John Laurinaitis, Executive Vice President in charge of talent relations and interim Raw General Manager.
the dynamic.
Oh God, I mean by smokes.
The dynamic douche comes over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Johnny Ace, motherfuckers.
Funk
Thank
Man. Funk Man. The dynamic douche Johnny Funk Man Ace.
I have so many names for this guy.
But yeah, so Johnny Ace comes over, asks if Alberto's taking the title match tonight as seriously. Well, if he's taking it seriously at all. He says he's got Mexico and all of his brethren with him tonight. And he says there's no way he's losing this title tonight. And here's something that was kind of interesting, especially for a New York crowd. They do a dig at Occupy Wall Street. And I'm thinking it's because of Del Rio messing the lineup, because he said sleeping on the sideway on Wall Street, and the crowd did not react at all.
Mm.
Like, you would think that, it being New York, that they would just like boo this man, but they're like, we don't care.
Mm.
And then we get a hype package for Mark Henry versus The Big Show. Isn't that adorable? They think we give a shit.
I think I went up to get chocolate milk when this started, when the hype package started. So yeah.
And as for the match,
Better
Ooh.
than I thought, except for the ending.
Well, I think the thing we were more paying attention to was all the chants that were being thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
because there was
part of this match, somewhere in this match, there was an Undertaker chant.
Oh yes, that's not the half of it. First chant, as the match starts and Mark Henry comes out, sexual chocolate, clap, 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 sexual chocolate. Then Mae Young, clap, clap, clap. Mae Young, clap. A little bit later, D'Lo Brown.
Yes. I love New York crowds. They just do whatever they want.
it's
New York and Philadelphia, they just
smart
and
crowds are the
Canada.
best kind of crowds.
Well,
Yeah.
there's also Canada, which does whatever they
Canada.
want, but they have no logic to it.
Yes. Remember their Bizarro
Their
land,
Bizarro
according to
world.
Jerry Lawler. Yes.
But yeah, the match is very slow and kind of plodding.
Yeah,
But-
they time their spots much better at Vengeance.
Yeah.
But we had whereas Vengeance had the ring breaking, we had Big Show doing a diving elbow drop off the top rope.
Which prompted which prompted Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because I'm watching this at home, and it's almost like this wasn't gonna happen, because he was stalling up there for quite a bit. It was obvious he couldn't get his balance, and I honestly thought they were gonna abort the spot.
But nope, they do it.
And actually, before this match, there was a nice little bit of continuity because the ring crew comes out and they reinforce the ring.
Thankfully, they didn't destroy it again.
Yeah. Well, Big Show jumping off the top rope of any manner, that could put a big damper on your ring. And then we have ourselves a bullshit finish.
Yeah.
Big Show gets low blowed by Mark Henry. End of match. But then, after the match, Mark Henry tries to Pillmanize Show again. Show moves out of the way. He does the knockout punch. The crowd wants Daniel Bryan. Sadly, he doesn't come out. And then Mark Henry gets Pillmanized.
Honestly, though, if I could say something about the fucking finish, I wanted a bullshit chant to erupt, because that's basically robbing people of either a title defense or a title change. Like, I actually thought it was possible that they'd give it to the Big Show. Like, I don't know how long Mark Henry's gonna last as a champion, but some people are actually suggesting that he's gonna last until WrestleMania.
Well-
especially with the whole broken leg thing they're doing now with them.
Yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen. They wouldn't do that to the belt. Like, the title changed last year at TLC. It's probably gonna do the same, and it also changed off of someone who hadn't had it for like 13 years. So
And actually, I think something that is it might be possible is what they're doing with Daniel Bryan now, with him involved with Henry, is that they could very well drag it out to WrestleMania. And what they're doing with Mark Henry and Daniel Bryan could be the seeds for a match between the two of them sometime in the beginning of 2020.
I don't want that to be Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania match. I want it to be against someone interesting.
yeah, like Jericho or Undertaker.
No, but if it's against Undertaker, he's going to lose, and if it's against Jericho, he
You
might
never know about that.
Well, Undertaker's
Genghis
career is
fantasy.
pretty much he's pretty much retiring. From,
Yeah.
I think what they're going for, and they might just, if it is Undertaker, they might just end the streak.
That's gotta be the greatest push you can get for Daniel Bryan. It's like he's the guy who broke the streak.
It would revert every last bit of not letting Daniel Bryan get much offense in for the last 3 months in an instant. It would revert all of that, and people would and the casual fan would start taking him seriously again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I never stopped taking him seriously.
But we're hardcore fans. We know about him before WWE and everything. The casual fan, like the 9-year-old fan that comes to the shows in the Cena gear, the ones that don't follow independent wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't
Come over
know.
with the
They don't
marks.
know about Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. They just know about Daniel Bryan, the guy who loses every night.
I think you can see where he's special though, despite them doing that stuff.
Yeah. Well, after this match, we get Wade Barrett talking with Matt Stryker, and this promo happened.
This was actually kind of an awesome promo.
I just remembered. Yeah,
because Miz and Truth interrupt for no reason.
Oh yeah.
And Truth just goes off on pigeons.
Pigeons
You know what those pigeons said?
They staring at that billboard outside, and you know what they said to me? And you see the look on his face. He's like, wait, where was I going with this?
Nothing.
Pigeons don't talk. All pigeons do is crap.
Troll face.
It's like R-Truth, like Scott Steiner all over this promo.
Like, then Miz calls The Rock and Cena a load of crap, and then Truth says, "Tonight, crap is crap, and tonight, crap gon' get got."
What does that mean? Makes sense.
I
was half expecting him to start rambling on about spiders.
Or how he's wrestled in a lot of countries. I've wrestled a lot of countries.
Maybe he'll start doing math.
I swear. It's just like, they should bring Scott Steiner over from TNA and have him team up with R-Truth. It would be the funniest thing ever.
I don't think the promo is Steinerized. The reason why he did the pigeons don't talk thing, it was a subversion of his promos a few months ago where he'd literally be talking to people that weren't there. And he's basically saying that he's all fucking business.
Yeah.
I think this is did he say Little Jimmy's tonight? Because if he didn't, I did think this was the first time in months that he didn't, Little Jimmy's and all that.
I think he said Little Rockies and Little Johnnies. So he's definitely kept he's keeping his focus clear.
Yeah, but like, it's R-Truth's beautiful dementia, as I read it once. Yeah, the promo was fun, and then Justin Roberts talks about National Guardsmen. They get the big USA chant. Then we move on to Punk versus Del Rio for the WWE Championship.
They played the video package first, which, again, more padding. And I don't know. Like, this match was
comes out, and then
this match was really good, but the build up to it has been kind of underwhelming because it's been pretty much like told to us that Punk was winning, and Del Rio has basically his championship reign has been not all that dignified.
Reigns.
Well, see, it was fucking hampered by the fact that they just had to give Cena the title for a month.
Not even a month, for like 2 months.
In one of the clumsiest booking decisions they've ever made, just so he could get his 10th reign. That fucked him over, essentially.
Yeah.
Forgetting one thing. When Punk came out, he himself had his own personal ring announcer.
The Fink.
Mm-hmm.
Howard fucking Finkel.
And we actually got a Howard Finkel chant out of this crowd.
Oh yeah. Oh no. They appreciate the guy. He's had history in this building.
It's just nice to have Howard Finkel.
What would have made it even more awesome is if Fink walked to the ring and got into the went into the ring, and then the old school MSG mic dropped from the ceiling. The one that he used at the first WrestleMania, and then he does the announcing. That would have made it even more awesome.
But yeah, Ricardo Rodriguez's reactions to him were awesome. He's getting upstaged.
Yeah.
And so Punk comes out, and he has a new hoodie now. Buy that on WWE Shop.com.
No, that's not a new item, is it? That was one of his indie friends' items.
Oh, I think Colt Cabana.
I don't know if it was Colt Cabana.
Well, there was a video that they put up on the WWE YouTube page where he's like, normally I talk a lot, but tonight I'm about to go win the WWE title. By the way, Colt Cabana, how you doing? And then he walks away.
Oh yeah, there were Colt Cabana chants, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why my first file was called Cabana there for the sweatshirt.
Yeah, this match was good.
Mm-hmm.
It is Punk and Del Rio, and they're great together.
Yeah.
took a little while to get started, but like after about 5 minutes, they were moving at the pace that everyone had expected them to move at.
Yep.
I mean, hey, like I said, I was saving all my energy for this. I was just waiting for like the final like 5 to 7 moments where they just amp everything up, and of course they had the Randy Savage elbow tease that Del Rio completely knocked out. But he ended up doing it again, and of course people chanted for it. They had Punk roundhouse kicking Ricardo off the apron, and
That looked like he really kicked him in the face there. Like that looked like it hurt. That kick to Rodriguez.
oh yeah, he's quite a. Did anyone else notice that Punk is now adding like palm strikes to his repertoire? He does it after like some of the Muay Thai quote unquote strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and the way the finish goes is that Punk tries to do the GTS. He gets out of it, shoves Punk. Punk kicks Ricardo. Then he gets rolled up. He rolls up Del Rio. Punk kicks Del Rio in the head. He tries to. He hits the Anaconda Vice. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And then
Anaconda Vice.
tries to claw him. Doesn't do it. Del Rio taps out. New champion, CM Punk.
Yeah, I quite like that transition. He's like 2 count. Fuck that Anaconda Vice. That was awesome.
And then the crowd lost its collective shit.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and he pretty much like CM Punk has edged into his face roll like incredibly. Like let no one say that he's an in-betweener. Like it's pretty much like him still kind of being the underdog by embracing the fandom as much as he can, like making himself a part of them.
Right down to almost crowd surfing after winning.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Our Dave.
Of course, laying the belt out and bowing down in front of him. Of course, he was right before he went out. He was interrupted by an ad for the Stone Cold DVD, and honestly, like I thought that they were like he was right in front of the curtains, like right before the gorilla position. I thought that they were basically hyping a Stone Cold CM Punk feud, like everyone's been asking for, but alas.
Yeah, that would be awesome if Punk keeps the belt until WrestleMania and they decide to do a Punk Austin feud.
They're not going to.
I wish they would. Don't ruin my
But it's
dreams.
possible.
Austin is retired. He's not coming out of
Austin has been saying Austin has said multiple times that he has one more match in him, and he said in interviews that if he wanted to wrestle anyone again, it would be CM Punk.
Listen, take a breath, sit down, sip some water, and listen. Okay. Austin is not going to come back to fight Punk. He's just not. He's going to tease it. He's going to, have some fun with the fans, kind of like Jericho works Twitter. He's going to do all that, sure, but he's not going to come back.
He's doing that show where he travels around the world drinking beer.
That doesn't even have anything to do with it. He's just trying to keep some interest going with like the whole, keep people talking thing. That's all.
Why you gotta dash everybody's dreams?
Well, actually, it's not
because
even
this pay-per-view dashed my dreams the minute it just slowed to a fucking crawl.
It's one thing about like saying he has one more match in him. Actually, what I heard was in one of his interviews was that he had 2 more years in him with the condition his body's in.
Yeah.
Like he would do it. He has 2 more years. I think it's a lot more of a serious thing than Jericho working the internet, and I think it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think.
Austin said.
I don't think he's. Whoa. I don't think he's, pulling any strings when he says he's probably got 2 more years or anything with his health. I think he doesn't want to lose the health he has. If that makes sense. So he wants to keep those 2 years that he has.
Yeah, fair point.
But yeah, now we're just padding because we have the main event to get to.
Hey, you know what? Just like them, we're padding.
Yes, because before the main event begins, how long was this video segment?
Ah!
I think maybe 5 minutes.
5
I
minutes.
remember the video segment. I may have actually not been watching.
And then then they took another 10 minutes just to get in the ring.
Yep.
Sounds like a main event to me.
And then actually one of my favorite parts of this entire match was Miz and Truth's entrance, where the crowd was singing along to "You Suck."
Oh, actually, speaking of singing along, a group of people behind me were singing along to Mark Henry's theme, and that was one of the funniest things.
Also, I think somewhere it sounded like it on the pay-per-view, but were people in the crowd singing along to "Cult of Personality" after Punk won?
Yeah, there are a few. Fuck, I was doing that, but nonetheless, yeah, this match, fucking. I don't even like. I wasn't looking forward to it. Like, a bunch of people kind of see past the hype. But the crowd was really going nuts. Of course, as per Cena, of course the crowd in New York wanted to pretend it was 2006.
Yeah, I heard when Cena's music came on, you heard maybe a few people cheering, and then when Cena steps out, no one was cheering. It was the entire arena was just boos.
And actually, speaking of 2006, Cena pretty much played it the same way. You can't wrestle, monkey flip drop kick. You still suck.
Cena's just trolling now.
And that was what he was doing early on.
Trolling him, he's trolling them back. It's kind of like they know he can wrestle. They're just doing it to be funny.
Yeah, like it's like people would just want to boo him.
Yeah, that's all it is, and he accepts that.
Oh,
As
good
long as
fun.
he's getting a reaction and he can work with it, and they're enjoying themselves despite what they're saying, like their sincere reaction is enjoyment.
Yeah, I do think
That's
that it's
all
a bit.
that
I do think it's a bit of a different reaction from the boos that he got in 2006, because a lot of the boos in 2006 were just kind of "go away, we don't want you anymore" boos. Now it's sort of like, we enjoy booing you because we enjoy thinking you suck.
Yeah, now it's a lot. Now the boos are a lot more affectionate. I think to a certain extent there are people that are legitimately sick of him, but for the most part it's like, okay, we're gonna boo you. You're not gonna react to the boos, but we're gonna boo you anyways, just because it's fun to boo you.
Yeah, perfect comparison point. Kurt Angle, you suck.
Yeah.
But Cena was actually trolling Rock pretty hard early on in the match. It's like Rock pulls out some pretty impressive moves, and Cena just has this smug face, just like,
It's like,
that was pretty good. It was.
But when Rock started, he was doing, hip tosses and arm drags, and he did his old school roll up pin, and it was fun to watch. It was very fun to watch because he can still do it.
Oh, yeah, dude did a straight.
He did look very good. He looks like he hasn't lost very much, if any at all. But
it's like I think he's been working on his cardio more since before WrestleMania, because when he tried to do the nip up before the week before WrestleMania, he muffed the whole thing up. But when he did it tonight, when we did a Survivor Series, he did it perfectly.
Yeah.
I think Rock actually.
I still have a problem with The Rock because, I'm going to be at Survivor Series. I'm going to be at WrestleMania. I would just show up to be a part of the fucking show.
Well, he's doing G.I. Joe.
Yeah, because that's a worthwhile investment.
Well, hey, Punk agrees. I mean, and he's pretty much becoming the new face of the company slowly. So, hey,
I'm just, if I actually had to side with anybody, I'd side with Cena.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Rock was on the apron more than he was in the ring in this match.
Really?
Yeah.
For like the first 5-10 minutes, it was all Rock, and like he went. Oh no, wait, excuse me. No, you are right. Yeah, it was Cena that was taking most of the selling. Like, he was pretty much taking a pretty huge beating for a long extended period.
There was a good chunk of Rock at the beginning, and in the middle was all Cena, and then Rock got the hot tag.
Yeah, Cena was pretty much the Morton.
For him to get the hot tag too.
Of course, Rock. Speaking of no more ring rust, he's or no noticeable ring rust. He still did the worst sharpshooter ever, top or bottomed only by Mr. Anderson. Except, unfortunately, he didn't tribute Owen because he did it with his right leg and not his left.
You know what though? It's just the way The Rock does it, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not an error anymore. It's just a matter of style.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I mean when I said no noticeable ring rust. He still does the sharpshooter the exact same way as he always did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's you get down to it. The Rock got the pin. What else did you expect was going to happen?
I don't know. I kind of thought that I kind of would have liked the idea of Cena or The Rock screwing one another out of the win. I don't have a problem with the finish as is. It was fine. I just thought that would be an interesting little wrinkle to their whole feud.
It would have been interesting if
this is modern WWE. They're not that willing to take the risk.
It would have been interesting though if they did do it with Cena, where they do the thing where Cena FUs Rock and they lose the match because of that, and then the next night, Cena comes out and he's playing more of a heel-leaning tweener, where he's still I mentioned this in the thread I think, where he still appreciates the fans, but he only appreciates the fans that appreciate him, and the ones that boo him every night. And the ones that, you still suck, all that, he couldn't care less about them. That would have been
That's kind of what he's already now anyway.
No, but like if he just outright says the people that
that is what
off.
he says. That is what he says. He says, "Screw them. As long as other people are there to see me and enjoy me, that's who I'm there for." That's exactly what he said.
As he said to Kofi, he said, "Pay him no mind." Like they were booing him at some point, I think in 2009.
When I met him in Iraq, I said something to the effect of like, it doesn't matter what people say, you're entertaining, you got talent. He said, yeah, that's who I'm there for, is the people who appreciate that, not the people who are going to boo me. So that's exactly what his character is. That wouldn't be a heel turn. That would just be him amping up the feud he has with Rock. But,
it would be very interesting to have him turn the volume up on that though, especially since we're getting closer to WrestleMania.
I think you're going to see that because for the most part he has been kind of keeping the same downplayed argument, like not that his argument is downplayed, but his behavior is downplayed. Like he just kind of walks out and does the whole thing of pretty much summed up by, hey, I'm just saying you're not here, I am.
Well, you know what? I think WWE is looking at it like this. They're like, we've got like 5 more months till WrestleMania. We can make this as slow a burn as we want.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing. That's the way they need to do it. Because if they had blown their load back in April, June, May, no one would care about this match. In fact, a lot of people, raising my hand here, don't care about it as is. But I think this is about as good as it's going to get, as good as it could be for a match that was booked a year in advance.
I mean, and the real tragedy of it is, as flimsy as it is, like he still made WrestleMania more money, and he's probably made Survivor Series a hell of a lot more money than if he hadn't been there.
I know, and that's unfortunate to me because...
Yeah, me too.
It's just frustrating that they can't just sit there and say, hey, here's Rock for once in a little bit, and now he's gone again. And now back to your regular guys that are here every goddamn day that we're trying to get over. Yeah, I just can't wait for the jackasses down in TNA to sit there and say, well, look at WWE. They're bringing back The Rock. It's just proof that young guys can't draw.
Hogan will say
You just really depressed me.
Hogan says it already.
Dude, I'm already depressed because we just talked about the finish to the main event of this pay-per-view, and we still got another 15 minutes of showtime.
Oh, my.
And we had so many slow, drawn-out spots and moments throughout the show anyway.
It was
we forgot to mention what was after the match, though.
I know, but it only took up another 7 minutes.
It was a sort of dissension tease, like...
They do the pose off, and then Rock does the rock bottom on Cena. And then it was actually more interesting after the match because he did an after the show promo that was very decidedly not PG.
Yeah, but we're sticking to what was on the TV though.
Yeah.
Spoke about Jesus, spoke about weed. Don't think he could say any of that stuff on Raw or SmackDown.
And my problem though is that pose down in the rock bottom that took 7 fucking minutes. 7 minutes out of 15 they had to fill, plus all the like time people just stood around staring at each other in other matches and everything, and other segments where they could have just gotten to the point a little bit quicker. They could have squeezed another match in there.
They should have had a match. Not against Ziggler, but still a match.
Yeah, I mean, come on, put Ryder in a match. Put I don't know who else in a match. Anyone. Fucking have Brodus Clay debut, like you've been promised.
Well, that's tonight.
Ugh, don't remind me.
It was supposed to be 2 weeks ago, though.
Yeah. But how much money will be bet on him getting bumped from the show again?
I don't think so. I think he'll be good. But that's for a different show. The point is, they had time there. They could have done something else with, and they just didn't. They just drew out. They just had the ending drag on and just fucking end the show without really. By the time we got to it, I was just like, yeah, I knew that was coming 6 minutes ago. Thank you.
Here's a question I have in terms of Miz and Truth after tonight. Where does this leave them? Because they've been thoroughly destroyed by Rock and Cena for the last 3 weeks.
This leaves them pretty much nowhere. There's nowhere for them to go.
It's conspiracy.
They don't. I don't see them as ever being taken. I don't see them as ever being really taken seriously again by the casual crowd.
No. Don't even say that. Come on, dude. You know better. Come on.
They've been.
No. Because you know what? Before Truth turned heel months ago, what would you say? Yeah, I'm never going to take him seriously again. He turned heel. Oh my God, he's awesome. Now tonight, they're never going to take him seriously. Come on, dude. Think about what you're saying. He'll be fine in a month.
Yeah, they anything's possible with him. R-Truth is over as fuck. Miz is over as fuck.
Yeah,
Booking has favoring him, but hey.
Yeah, let's apply that rule that wrestlers often cite: never say never in this business. Don't say he's never going to be over. He's never going to be taken seriously. He's never going to be this. He's never going to be that. It's all a matter of what he currently is. Currently, they're in a transition spot. Okay? Please, just stop doing that. That bugs the hell out of me. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm bagging on Subrick, but he said something on the forums last night.
Let me do it.
No. Let's get the segment here. We'll go around the group and we'll get to you last. Just you and me last, because you and me are going to get into it.
Everybody, mute your mics for when me and him argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember.
I guess I'll start things.
Go.
I'll start things off by saying that this pay-per-view left very little impression on me, and I guess that's been true of a lot of pay-per-views lately, but I feel like nothing of importance was accomplished, and they're really just they're really high on Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania, and up till then nothing else matters. They just want to get to that as soon as possible. I mean, they're not fucking up the angle, but they're not really focusing on anything else.
Well, for me, I think there were good matches in this pay-per-view, but it just dragged on.
Thank you.
And whenever there was a bad match, it drained me.
For me, go on.
Mark Henry versus Big Show drained me of Punk versus Del Rio. So, all right, Chris?
Well, for me, this was a very good pay-per-view. Now, I understand, yes, it should have had at least one more match. It should have plotted less. Like the friggin' elimination match was a disaster. The Mark Henry Big Show match was very, very slow. But I thought Dolph Ziggler is put over quite a bit despite getting eliminated first. Like really isn't the important aspect of the night. I thought Zack Ryder, the pop that he got did wonders for him, and despite it just being in his hometown, he's starting to be over all over the place because of his internet show. Such a reaction as this could only drive home the importance of him. I thought Cody was put over like hell. I mean, him standing, even not having pinned Orton, him standing tall over a defeated Orton is really all you need from him. Wade Barrett, don't really care about him, but hey, John Morrison, yeah, he's probably going to get released. I mean, if this becomes a heel turn, which he has hinted at on Twitter, and like the whole idea of him getting released is moot, fine. But I don't know. I thought there was good coming out of this pay-per-view.
Now then,
Alif?
Alif?
I'm gonna agree with Backlash on this one. I wasn't completely paying attention to everything in the pay-per-view because I am supposed to be on vacation, even though I'm on the show. But
Jesus.
the things that I did see, it was an okay pay-per-view. I don't think it was the greatest pay-per-view. I don't think it was the worst pay-per-view. It's just middle of the road. The main event was solid, but I thought even that kind of dragged a little bit in the middle there. I don't want to. If I never have to watch another Big Show versus Mark Henry match, it'll be too fucking soon. I did like that they did put over Ziggler and Cody and Zack Ryder, but good pay-per-view, not great pay-per-view.
All right, Subrick.
now then, I'm going to agree with what Christopher said. It was and this is after my knee-jerk reaction from last night, because what I said on the forum last night was I said that this was the best show of the year. And here, let me explain. That was from a fan perspective. I had more fun watching this show than I've had watching any other wrestling show in a long time. This was just a fun show for me to watch. It was a flawed show. I will admit that. It did drag in parts. But just from the perspective of an audience member and the perspective of a fan of wrestling watching this, I haven't had this much fun watching wrestling in possibly years. And it was just it's hard to describe. The crowd did play a lot into that, mainly just because it was New York and the fact that the crowd was so into it. And when you have a crowd that's very, very into it, that ramps up the show for me. That was the same sort of thing with SummerSlam back in 2010 last year. The crowd was very into the show, and that made the show more enjoyable for me. In terms of the matches on this show, they all got the job done. They were all generally good. Even the Divas match was okay. I'd say the worst of the show was the Survivor Series match, just because shit went so wrong in that. I didn't really have that much of a problem with Big Show and Mark Henry because I'm a fan of the big lumbering dudes slamming each other. Cena and Rock, I liked the match. I mean, the ending was not kind of predictable, very predictable. Because they're not going to let The Rock lose, especially on his return. CM Punk versus Del Rio, match of the night for me. That was just that I feel is what I enjoy the best out of those two guys, because they have such good chemistry together. Like, more Del Rio and Punk matches will be a very, very good thing. Ziggler versus Morrison, great match as well. I mean, Ziggler, I don't think I've ever seen him put on a bad match with anybody other than Mason Ryan. Morrison, it's sad that he's going to be leaving and going to TNA, most likely, because they're not going to do anything. They're going to do less with him down there than what they're doing with him now. And like I said, just in terms of a show itself, it was a good show that did have its problems, but as a fan of wrestling and as an audience member, this was my show of the year, just because it was just so enjoyable to watch. Now, Teefus.
All right. My knee-jerk reaction to your knee-jerk reaction was, bitch, you be tripping balls. Okay? This was not the show of the year by unbiased standards. I can understand, the nostalgia factor of The Rock and classic Survivor Series match. Haha, that's fun. Survivor Series usually is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. It really usually is. And this is the first time I can sit there and say I actually did not really enjoy this pay-per-view that I've been watching these things for. And to me, I want more traditional Survivor Series matches. That's my personal thing. I love that concept. I think it's great. I wish it would result in the survivors going into an elimination match at the end of the night to get the world title. I think that'd be awesome. But I know
Honestly,
I know that's not what they're doing anymore. They haven't done that in over a decade, so I just live with it. This pay-per-view itself, it really did just drag. It did. As soon as The Rock's promo hit, things just started crawling. And it just took forever to do anything. And then Sin Cara got injured, which, no fault of his. Not his fault anyway. It just is what it is. It's not, it just crawled. And as much as it crawled, they still came up 15 minutes short. I can understand 5 minutes short, just give themselves a little bit of padding room there. But 15 minutes, when you got a pose off going for 7 damn minutes on a pay-per-view at the end, there's something wrong here. When you got people chanting Zack Ryder's name throughout the night, and he's not on the show except to, hit Ziggler real quick at the end of his match and not even have an impact on the end of the match, there's something wrong here. You're doing it wrong. Give the people what they want. They want Ryder. The merchandise sales say they want Ryder. God damn. Give people more. Give them another match. Get Ryder on the show. Give them Tyson Kidd. Give us Daniel Bryan. Where's his match? Money in the Bank guy. Come on. There's just so much wrong with this show tonight. I mean, it was a good show. Based on what they gave us, it just felt like it dragged through because things just kind of put them up their game a little bit. I mean, I guess everyone just has a bad night once in a while. But also knowing what they had back in the locker room that they could have given us, and after seeing that the show came up 15 minutes short with all the padding they threw in there, it just feels like I didn't get my money's worth. And that to me is a problem. So hopefully for TLC, they step up their game on this show, on WWE, and then hopefully going into the WrestleMania season, the road to WrestleMania here, it really does pick up and they really get back on the ball with this stuff. And I think not having to worry about working around the limitations Sin Cara has is going to help them with that. I think Hunico finding a better gimmick, not necessarily like him being anything wrong with him, but just that gimmick of not being original at all. I think they can manage between now and then to improve the product, and we'll be fine. So yeah, that's my opinion. That's my take on it, and I'd give it a C. That's my grade for this show.
I'd give it a B.
B minus.
I'd give it a B plus, but that's only probably because of the experience I had there. Like, that shit was fun.
I can imagine.
It patched up like the bad matches.
I still envy you so much.
So I'm
I'd give it a B minus.
And for as much as I bag on the show for, if I had tickets, even knowing what the show wound up being, like even with this hindsight I have now, I would have gone. I would have enjoyed the shit out of myself. So that's just me.
It's always more fun to go live.
So the general consensus I would say is it was a good show that had fun moments, but it was very flawed.
It had its good moments, it had its bad moments, and it just, unfortunately, like every show has those, but unlike most other shows that WWE has been putting on in the last few months, the good was just not enough to pull that grade up to a B plus A average. So it's a B average show, I think, between us.
I will say that I think that it is rather distressing that one of the big 4 pay-per-views of the year is a B show. It's like a B grade show. That should not be the way that it goes, because
SummerSlam was like a C.
Oh yeah. WrestleMania was just.
Oh yeah.
That was a D.
Yeah, that was a D. Considering it's fucking WrestleMania, that was a fucking D. The
Yeah.
third year goes Extreme Rules, Money in the Bank, best shows of the year.
All right. I think we've all basically put in our 2 cents about Survivor Series. Let's move on to what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal. And I'll start with CM Punk's ass gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
We didn't mention that.
Padding gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Howard Finkel gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Pigeons that don't talk get more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Teefus getting his pizza.
One per participant.
All right.
Where did he go? It better be the best fucking pizza ever.
For those of you not aware, Teefus has stepped away to get his pizza.
Sadly, it's Domino's, so therefore I must deduct a few points.
Ugh,
He also didn't get it. He also didn't buy enough for all of us.
bastard.
Well, I had the
Leaf
pizza,
not
I had
getting
the
on
pizza
my-
last night.
The Leaf not getting off my show gets more screen time
Oh.
than Jay Lethal.
All right. And because he's not coming back for Teefus, this has been the Dark Match. I am Backlash.
I'm Christopher Says. I'm
I'm Mega Fighter, Team Honey Badger, FTW.
Subrick.
I was thinking you were gonna go. I'm the fat one, Subrick.
And I am No Leaf Clover, and I will be officially off vacation. And I'm doing this week's show. Oh god damn it! I have to watch TNA. Oh, what have I done?
Oh, yeah,
Welcome
I'm
back
doing
to
that,
the
aren't I?
Danger Zone, No Leaf.
You silly bastard, you.
Good night and good luck, everybody. Cue the music.